right, I'm going to do an example using the analytic method of problem solving. And the particular problem I have is one that's called a scale up one to many kind of things problem. And what I want to do is solve the problem of how many bed pillows, a regular pillow, can fit in the back of a tractor trailer. Okay, so this is the problem that I'm asked, right, as an engineer. I want to know, logistics, how many pillows can I fit in the back of a tractor trailer? I want to solve the problem using my engineering computation paper, and I'll show you this on Canvas in just a little bit. But it's laid out like this, and on the top you put your name, the class it's for, and the problem number, and the problem number. And you should have a date down there also. I don't really care what order those are in. The other thing you should do is, of course, have the page number, and this is a 1 of 1 page number. Write down your problem statement, write your givens and what you're trying to find, your assumptions, equations or theory that you're going to use, solution, and verification. This is what I will be looking for on your homework, okay? Sometimes you will use assumptions, sometimes you won't. Right? Some of these things may not always be used, but you'll always have verification, solution, givens, and finds. Those are always on your work. If you have future classes with me, I will also always expect you to follow this format. So what was the problem that was given to us? We can write it in our own words, and it is how many bed pillows can fit in the back of a tractor trailer? All right. So what do we know? What are our knowns, our givens, right? It says knowns. You can also see the words givens. That's fine. What we know is we're using one tractor trailer. And it's good to have a sketch. So there's my sketch of a tractor trailer. It really doesn't tell me, though, a lot, right? I still don't know a lot. So what am I trying to find? The number of pillows that can fit in that tractor trailer. Well, I don't know the size of this tractor trailer, so I need to make some assumptions, right? So one of the assumptions I'm going to say is it's an 8-foot wide tractor trailer, and it's 10 foot tall and 35 feet long. And I actually got this information from a website that's really called standardtrailer.com, right? So it's legitimate dimensions for a tractor trailer. I'm also going to use a standard size pillow. And then what I did was I used the one from my bed itself. So here's where I've got my assumption. I'm using one that's the exact same size as my one in my bed. There's lots of different ones. There's, king size pillows, smaller pillows, thicker, bigger pillows, all different kinds. But I'm just picking mine. And it's 3 inches thick, 16 inches wide, and 21 inches long. So those are my assumptions. Assuming that those are correct, I need to find out what my solution will be. I have some equations that I'll need. And of course, the equation that I'm looking at is volume, right? I need the volume of the tractor trailer and the volume of the pillows, right? So I'll know how many fit in each. So I'm going to write out my equations. So my number of pillows is going to equal the volume of the truck divided by the volume of the pillows. Here's my truck volume. Here are my pillows. I'm going to convert my cubic inches into cubic feet. And if I do this, I will get my number of pillows to be 4,800 pillows. Always clearly show your result by boxing it in. Please always box in your answer. So the question is that the correct number of pillows? Is that too many? Is it right? I don't know. For our assumptions, it could be right. But there are some things we need to kind of think about. We should write down what we're thinking. And these things consist of that this calculation really neglects any of the compression of the pillows as they're stacked on top of one of each other, which would increase the number, right? So if each of my pillows are put in bags and I just threw them in there, the weight of all those pillows might compress it down a lot. But if I had cardboard box, maybe it would support it more and I wouldn't get that compression, right? So maybe it is a little closer. What about the wheel wells like in this area, right? Maybe there's some things in the tractor trailer I can't fit a box perfectly, right? So maybe I don't have exactly that. But what I can kind of say is that this number should give me somewhere in the ballpark. I should have somewhere like 4,000 pillows or maybe 5,000 pillows. Somewhere in that range, I would say, is probably a good estimate to give someone. The last thing is it's always good to staple your work, but we'll be handing it online, so I don't think we really need to worry about that so much. So these are the types of problems that I want you to solve, and that's what I'll be looking for in your homework. Let's take a look at the homework real quickly. So here is the homework problem. In here it shows that you are to use engineering computation paper. You can download this PDF version of it. You'll see it looks just like what we talked about in class. The back side is this graph. So if you print it back to back, you'll see there's 3 pages of it here for the 3 problems for the homework. And if you print it back to back, it gives a nice light grid to work on to be able to draw pictures and things for your work itself. So I would recommend downloading that and using that. And remember, when solving these 3 problems, the important thing is that I want you to do the givens, the finds, the assumptions, the solutions, and the verification. I don't care if you get the problem wrong for this homework set. I want you to follow this procedure as we laid out here, right? As we laid out here. Givens, finds, assumptions, equations or solutions, and verification, right? Box in your answer. That's what I'm looking for. What the actual answer is, I don't care. Just a clarification, a lot of time people think, oh, this one's a fly. It's at some midpoint, starting point. It goes to the end, and it walks, right? It's crawling. So it's going to actually crawl on the box. It can't fly. How does it get from here to this other side? And what is that minimum distance that it must travel? This last problem is one you'll have to make some assumptions on. Is to try to find how tall a gasoline tank would need to be to hold a year's supply of gasoline that the U.S. would consume. So you have to kind of look up your source, state what year you're using, and all of that. So it's for cars, not trucks. Just what type of gas, how much gas would be used is what you're going to have to kind of find out, and state your source. And if you look down at the rubric itself, it never talks about whether the solution is correct or not. It's really always talking about following that problem. Procedure of givens, finds, assumptions, solutions, and verifications. I hope this helps. If you have questions, of course, always ask.